Hello guys, welcome back to the channel Rahul Automation Studio. So in this video, I'm going to explain you about the new thing that we don't have to use the system.set property anymore in launching the browser for our test cases. So earlier before Selenium version 4.60, we have to either set the system.set property or either we have to use the WebDriver manager to download automatically the driver binary exe and to use in our test cases. But after Selenium version 4.6.0, we don't have to use that. So this is the official Selenium block, and here in the version 4.6.0, you can see they have some major updates in that, and it is supporting for the CDP versions. This updated some illegal argument exceptions, to null pointer exceptions, and all. The major point here, which is it is adding the initial support for the Selenium manager. Okay, so they are added one Selenium manager, and this Selenium manager will automatically will take care about the binaries in your system, and further you no need to download the binary in your system, or you no need to set the path for that. So automatically it will launch the browser for. And here if we see in the major releases of 4.6.0, so here what they are saying in that is we are happy to announce that the release of Selenium 4.6.0 for Java and multiple language binding as well as for the grade. So what are the major changes are there? So they're adding the support for the release for the Chrome version 105.6.7 and all. And they have implemented a new feature of Selenium Manager across all the binding. So this is the major change, guys. With the help of this change, we don't have to use this line of a code, system.set property, or even though we don't have to use this line of a code to use the WebDriver manager. Simply just we need to download, we need to write it down. WebDriver space driver is equal to new Chrome driver. No need to write down any line of a code like this. Simply we have to launch the browser and we can start using it in our test cases. So this is a major update after the 4.6.0, and how they have implemented that. They have implemented through with the help of the Selenium manager. And they are saying there is some improvement to the new Java HTTP client as well. So they have changed from Docker as well. Right. So multiple changes they have done in that case, right? So if we see about this Selenium manager, let's try to open the Selenium manager, what they have added in that. So most people first experience with Selenium, they ends up with one error. Like if you will starting your your course with the Selenium, and you must be facing this error in the starting that java.lang illegal state exception. The path to the driver executable must be set by webdriver.chrome.driver, right? So we have to set this property, and we end up with this error message with our Selenium script. But now the Selenium is coming with the batteries included. So the Selenium project wants to improve the user experience, and one of the first steps is to help all the users to simplify how they set up their environment. Configuring browser driver, right? We do the configuration for browser drivers like Chrome driver, Edge driver. So that has been for many years a task which users used to perform in order to have a working environment to run the Selenium. But now, guys, you don't require to set this path in your Selenium. So with this latest version 4.6.0, they have updated it. Automatically, it will download. So setting up the browser driver once is not that complicated. But as the browser release cycles got shorter, and now we have a new Chrome Firefox version, right? After 4 and 6 weeks, it will be updated the new version, new browsers for you. So in that case, the task of keeping the browser driver in sync with the browser version is not that easy, right? We have to manually download the latest version based on the latest version, and then we have to set up it again. It's a manual task. Every time we have to do that. So in that case, Selenium Manager is a new tool that helps to get a working environment to run Selenium out of the box. Okay, so beta version of Selenium Manager will configure the browser drivers for Chrome, Firefox, and Edge if they are not present on the path. So either it will be compatible with the previous code as well. So if you have already written the path, so in that case, that also will be working fine for you. In that case, if it is not set in your path and if you are not using that, in that case, automatically it will set up the Chrome driver for your script and it will download and will manage all these binary files in your cache of your system. So to run a Selenium test with Python 4.6, you only need to have Chrome, Firefox, and Edge has to be installed. If you have already have browser driver installed, so this feature will be ignored. Okay, so still your previous code will be compatible with the latest version of this Selenium. So they're inspired by the open source and the Selenium community. So Selenium Manager is not a completely new solution. Over the years, several third parties projects. So definitely we were using some other libraries, like we were using the WebDriver Manager for Java, WebDriver Manager for Python, WebDriver for Ruby, right? We were using the WebDriver Manager as well to automatically download. But now, after this Selenium version 4.6.0, even though we don't have to use the WebDriver Manager also in our script, so Selenium internally will take care and handle of that for you. So we are given the more details about this Selenium Manager here. So we will not go in that much depth here, but we will see the implementation in our Eclipse. So we will see the practically how it is working. And if we see the Maven dependencies, Maven Selenium dependencies, so from there we can see the version, all the Selenium versions that are available. So here we will be talking about the Selenium version 4.6.0, right? So before the version of 4.6.0, like 4.5.3, so till these versions, we have to use the system.set property, or either we have to use the WebDriver for our script to basically manage the binary and driver files for you. After this version, so start using from 4.6.0, we don't have to use. So we will see the practical example of that. So this is a Maven project that I have with me, and in my form.xml file, I'm having the Selenium version like 4.5.0. So this is 4.5.0. So let me try to download 4.5.3 so that I can show you. 4.5.3, just click on the Control S and automatically it will download this 4.5.3. And if you want to check, you can check in the Maven dependencies. So just come here, and so still this is 4.5.0. Let's see, it's not updating. 4.5.3. Let me try with 4.5.2. Just do the Control S. It is building it and it has to download and replace the previous version. So we'll see the things practically when it is required and after which version it is not required. So I will try to replicate that scenario here so that you can see. So the latest version 4.5.3 I'm trying to download, but still it is not downloading. So I'm trying with 4.5.2, but the changes came after 4.5.3. So I'm having 4.5.2 with me, right? And it is downloaded here. And now, if you will see, I am having one simple program of Selenium program. And here I'm using system.set property. So I have downloaded the Chrome driver binary file for according to my Chrome browser version, and I have set the path for that. And after that, the next step we have to do is we have to do the driver is equal to new Chrome driver. We have to use it. And as we know in our latest like Chrome browser version 111. So we are facing one issue, right? We are facing one issue related to the HTTP request reminding error is coming. So to resolve that, we are using the Chrome options and we are using this property remote allow origin. So after that, it is for so we have to use driver equal to no Chrome driver, right? So let's try to launch the test case with this. and we are using system.set property here. Okay, we are using system.set property. So I will show you if I will not use this property, so what will happen. So if I'm using system.set property, it is properly opening my browser and it is working fine for me. So this is the required thing to working fine for me. Suppose if I don't use this, I omit this line of the code, and after that, if I try to run my test case, so you will see if I'm using a Selenium version 4.5.2 or less than 4.6.0, so it is throwing me the error that illegal state exception. The path to the driver executable must be set, right? Otherwise, you will not be able to launch. But now, with the latest version, okay, we'll be using 4.6.0. You don't have to set any. So in the case of WebDriver Manager, so you can use the WebDriver Manager. So automatically it will download and it will run that test case. So let's try to run this. So we are commenting the WebDriver Manager. So in place of system.set property, I'm trying to use WebDriver Manager. Let's try to run the test case. So definitely this will work fine for you because automatically it will download the binary file for your system and you will be able to run the test, right? So it is working and it is okay. But now, even though we don't have to use this one before after 4.6.0, okay. So let's see. So now you will see, and one more thing that I want to update about this 4.6.0, that it will be having the one external file that is like a Selenium Manager.exe file. Okay, so let's try to open that Selenium Manager.exe. Yes, we will try to search something with that. And on the GitHub, maybe definitely we can see that. So this is having a GitHub. We'll see that file. So this is the latest official websites. I mean the code of the Selenium. Here we can see this Selenium is having Selenium Manager.exe file. They are official some basic things. Okay, so here it will be having one Selenium.exe file which they have implemented in Selenium version 4.6.0. So maybe I will go not go here. So what I will show, I will directly try to show you here in the binary. So once we download the Selenium binary, so here you can see you're not having any Selenium Manager exe file. But once you will replace the Selenium version, so now you will be downloading the 4.6.0. So once you download the new version of the binary file, just replace the version and automatically it will replace the files in your system. So now you can see here that you will be having the Selenium Manager file as well. Selenium Manager, this is an external file that they have added in 4.6.0 and it is having the Selenium Manager class. So this is the new implementation of this class they have given uh, since 4.6.0, and what this is saying. So they are saying that they are using Selenium Manager. This is the exe file that this is implementing. And after that, they have used the singleton pattern for that. So definitely, so they are saying they have implemented this using a singleton pattern. Since this way we have a single instance in the JVM, right? So it will use the resulting binaries for all the calls to the Selenium Manager singleton during all the Java process time. And here, if you will see, they are having this Selenium Manager and they are checking at the runtime if they are having any binary or binary is equal to null or binaries dot exist, and based on that it is relating to the path and handling that process. And here, if you will see, they implemented this get instance method is there, static method they defined, and inside that they are creating the object of Selenium Manager class. So here this is the singleton pattern they have implemented here. And here they are having one method that is run command. So they're building some path and they're trying to manipulate this and download this driver file for This is the Get binary. So Get binary, which is based on the operating system like Linux, Windows, Mac, and all that. So it will manage under one folder. It will be managing, right? So we will see the path as well, how we can get the path of the binaries. Okay. So this is the method, get driver method. We are using this get driver method. We will be able to get the path, like you need to pass from driver, MSH driver, or Gecko driver. So you will be able to find it, right? So we will be able to. Now we have downloaded 4.6.0. Now, so this is my test, and I'm not using any system.site property, and even though I'm not using any web driver manager. So in that case, if I will try to run this test case, so guys, what should happen generally? We should be facing one problem. We should be getting one error, that illegal state exception, and we have must have to set the path, right? So just let me see what is the actual error it is throwing. So it is throwing me that we need to set the path, right? So illegal state exception and not going to just let me try with the version 4.6. It is fine. Let me just go to the board once more. So actually Chrome options I'm trying to use because we are getting one another exception with it. Like we are not trying to use that. To the controllers. So we are getting actually with this one exception, that is security status bound from error that we are getting here, right? So let's try to find this 4.7.5.0, but it should be work with 4.6.0 as well. And I'm having the latest Chrome version as well. So for that, I need to set this remote allow reason. I'm having the Chrome 111, and I'm not using the latest browser, right? So what is the problem that I'm solving? We don't have to actually use this. I must not be setting it. Let's try with this. Yeah, so now you can see it is working fine. It is opening my Chrome and it is opening the Google.com. And you can see here I'm not using any system.set property. Also, I'm not using any WebDriver manager. Without setting any path, I'm able to launch my Chrome browser. So automatically it is getting handled with the help of the Selenium manager. Selenium manager will take care of this our binary files, and same is applicable for Chrome browser, as well as it is applicable for the Gecko, iMessage, right? So for multiple browsers it is supporting, and you need to download that as, right? So this is the new change actually which is came after 4.6.0, but I'm not sure what is playing there for 4. 0, we will try once more with 4.6.0. Because this has been implemented since the version of 4.6.0. 4.11.0 is the latest version. There are some new changes also which has come. I will make a new video on that as well. So let's try to run this 4.6.0 because this change is happened after the release of 4.6.0. I'm not sure why it is like this, but it has been implemented with 4.6.0, guys. Okay, so we have already seen how it is launching without using the system.set property and without using the WebDriver manager. So you can do that. And let's try to replace it with this version as of now. And one more step what you can do is you can use the Selenium manager. Okay, so you can use the Selenium manager as well. So let's try. Let's see. Maybe it is still downloaded. So we'll check in my event dependencies folder. So this is the class we are having, Selenium Manager. And in this Selenium Manager, we can call this method. Dot get instance method we can call, right? And maybe this Selenium Manager we need to import. Okay, so Selenium Manager dot get instance dot and get driver path. So we want to get the path, and to get the path, let's go to the method. After using this get instance, they will be having the object of this class, and in there, this is the get driver path. So this is the new change actually, which is came in 4.11.0, right? So in that case, we need to mention the browser and the browser version, browser path. Multiple changes happening in this. Let's try. So it is executing the Selenium manager.exe, but actually we are having the latest version as a 1115, right? So that's why, and but we are trying to use the older version of Selenium version, so that's why it is throwing the problem to us. So there is some mismatches happening between the latest Chrome browser version and the Selenium version because we are trying to use the Chrome browser version 115 and 16, but we are trying to use the older version of Selenium, so that's why it is not automatically able to download that. So in that case, because in the new release of Selenium version 4.11, they have released, right? So that's why in that case it is working, but not with the older version. Okay, but this change has come after the 4.60, and you have seen if you're trying to using with 4.11.0, we are able to launch our test case without using the system.set property and without using the WebDriver.manage. So this is the advantage that we will be getting, guys. So yeah, that's all in this video. So start using the versions after 4.6.0, and there are more versions are released there. So I will be making the new video on the new versions as well, which new changes has came in this. So please subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. So please, yeah, thank you.